The neon glow of 1950s Las Vegas was more than just a destination. It was the personal playground of the chairman of the board himself, Frank Sinatra.
To understand Frank, you have to understand the Sands. It was his home, his stage, and his favorite place to risk it all at the tables.
Frank didn't just play the games, he commanded the room. When he walked into the casino, the energy shifted and the stakes immediately went up.
Sinatra was a high-stakes regular, known for his love of blackjack and baccarat. For him, the thrill wasn't just in the win, but in the spectacle. His credit line was legendary. At his peak, the Sands allowed him to play with hundreds of thousands of dollars on a single night's whim. But with high stakes came a legendary temper. If the cards weren't falling his way, everyone in the room knew it. The stories of his outbursts are part of Vegas lore. One of the most famous involved a golf cart and a very expensive plate glass window. It happened in 1967. After a losing streak and a disagreement over his credit, Frank took matters into his own hands in the most dramatic way possible. He drove that golf cart straight through the front window of the Sands. It was a statement that only the chairman could make. The fallout was immediate. The casino manager, Carl Cohen, didn't take kindly to the stunt, leading to a physical confrontation that left Frank with 2 less teeth. Despite the bruises and the broken windows, Frank's connection to the gambling world ran much deeper than just being a patron. He actually owned a stake in the Cal Neva Lodge, a casino that straddled the border of California and Nevada at Lake Tahoe. The Cal Neva was his crown jewel. It featured a secret tunnel system used to move high-profile guests, and sometimes questionable associates, out of sight. But owning a casino meant dealing with the gaming board, and Frank's friends often landed him in hot water with the authorities. The presence of mobster Sam Giancana at the Cal Neva was the final straw. The Nevada Gaming Control Board moved to revoke Sinatra's license. Losing his license was a massive blow to his ego and his wallet, but it didn't stop him from hitting the tables as a player. He shifted his loyalty to Caesar's Palace, where he continued his streak of high-stakes gambling and even higher-stakes drama. At Caesar's, he was known for the Sinatra Walk, a confident stroll toward the baccarat pit that signaled the start of a long night. He was a generous tipper when he won, often handing out $100 bills to dealers and cocktail waitresses like they were candy. But when the luck turned, the generous Frank could vanish in an instant, replaced by a man who demanded perfection from everyone around him. One dealer recalled Frank throwing a handful of chips at him after a losing streak, shouting that the cards were dead. His gambling habits weren't just a hobby. They were a reflection of his need for control in a world that was constantly changing around him. As the corporate era of Vegas began to take over in the 70s and 80s, the old-school gambling style of the Rat Pack started to fade. Frank Sinatra remained a fixture in the casinos until the very end, a living monument to a time when the stakes were personal and the players were kings. Whether he was winning big or losing it all, one thing was certain: Frank did it his way, right down to the last bet.